Sonidos Independientes.
Fifth Avenue Sounds.
All right.
Y vamos.
Bienvenidas y bienvenidos a Sonidos Independientes desde Fifth Avenue Sounds. Chulada. Bienvenidas, qué gusto estar de vuelta después de un breve hiato de un par de semanas muy merecidas de descanso. La verdad, estoy renovado, hasta me veo más chavo, miren, menos canas, todo el asunto. No oí, la verdad, no oí, traigo audífonos y no me dejan oír sus calumnias. Pero bueno, qué gusto estar aquí en la emisión vigesimoséptima, ¿sí, verdad? ¿Así se dice? Vigesimoséptima de Sonidos Independientes desde Fifth Avenue Sounds, este podcast quincenal donde cada 2 semanas les traemos propuestas de música independiente, música de todos lados del mundo, y este episodio es la prueba de ello. Antes de irnos con el artista de esta semana, les comento un pequeño anuncio para aquellos que les haya gustado el episodio 25 que tuvimos con Tennessee Blues Review. Y si están en Playa del Carmen, este viernes 2 de septiembre en el Lotus Rouge vas a estar presentando en vivo Tennessee Blues Review, una rica noche de blues. Además va a ser un bazar de artistas independientes, entonces va a haber un montón de artistas pues, exponiendo y vendiendo sus artesanías y su arte. Y además, pues, amenizando la noche, vamos a estar ahí, Tennessee Blues Review. So check it out if you're in Playa this Friday and you want to listen to some Tennessee Blues Review like in episode 25. Check us out. We're going to be playing at 8 p.m. in Lotus Rouge this Friday, September 2nd. If you're watching or listening this in the future, well, sorry. Sorry you missed it. It was probably good. Bueno, si nos están escuchando en el futuro, pues bueno, se lo van a perder. Sin más, ya no tengo más anuncios que darles. ¿Cómo no? Bueno, sí, pero ese anuncio se los voy a dar hasta el mero final, pero es porque este episodio 27 es el último episodio del primer año de Sonidos Independientes. Estamos a punto de cumplir un año de Sonidos Independientes, entonces este es el último del primero. No es como que va a cambiar la temporada, no va a cambiar mucho, seguimos el conteo de episodios como va a seguir y todo, pero solo para que sepan que ya llevamos casi un año haciendo este asuntito, ¿ok? So for people who don't understand my Spanish and watching us on the transmission or listening later, I'm just saying that this is the last episode we're doing of the first year of Sonidos Independientes, because starting in 2 weeks is going to be the first episode of the second year. But nothing much is going to change. We still have a lot of artists that are coming, and we have actually the whole year already booked. Like, we have artists all the way to January, right? We already have an artist promised for January. It's going to be interesting. Este va a ser un episodio bilingüe, nuestro 4º episodio bilingüe. Ya hemos tenido otros artistas que pues no hablan español, y entonces, como es el caso del artista de hoy, por lo que vamos a estar hablando sobre todo en inglés. Así que para la gente que no hable inglés, tanto en la audiencia física como en la virtual, solamente se puede hacer esto en vivo. Obviamente, si esto ya lo están escuchando en el futuro, pues no hay manera de que les ayude. Pero si nos están oyendo ahorita, están en YouTube, nos pueden poner en el chat: Juan, no entendí nada, y les traduzco con mucho gusto. Si no me dicen nada, yo nada más me voy a seguir en inglés porque va a ser más práctico para mí, ¿ok? So, there's no point in saying that in English because, yeah, so I'm not going to say that in English. Yeah, I was just saying that if somebody doesn't understand our English, just let me know, but I guess if you understand English, you'll understand English, or whatever. All right, so officially, the frontier of Sonidos Independientes has expanded today, okay? We've had people from South America, we have people from Europe, but we've never had an artist from all the way from New Zealand. And today, ladies and gentlemen, playing live for you in Sonidos Independientes from Fifth Avenue Sounds, please give a very, very warm welcome and applause to Bronwyn.
Hey, thanks for having me. This first song's called Someone Else You've Lost. No turning back this time. I'm doing what's right, I'm sure. No tracing me lifting your house. Yeah, you're all alone. At least now you can be the ruler. Go on, enjoy your throne. Did you ever stop to think that in your quest for glory you would wake up to find me gone? Because in life there's gotta be some give and take. You can't be in control of every little move I make. 'Cause while you're so busy reaching for the top, no thought about the cost. If you ever turned around, you'll see there's someone else you've lost. Don't say you didn't want this. Don't say it's all my fault. I'm not the only one who's moved on and let you go. Surely that tells you something. If you just stopped, you see, you might get to the top, but I know you won't have me. Did you ever stop to think that in your quest for glory you'd wake up to find me gone? Because in life there's gotta be some give and take. You can't be in control of every little move I make. 'Cause while you're so busy reaching for the top, no thought about the cost. If you ever turned around, you'll see there's someone else you've lost. Maybe you just don't see it. Maybe you just don't hear it. Good things that you just push away. Maybe you just don't need it. Well, I'm not gonna force it. You don't deserve it anyway. Because in life there's gotta be some give and take. You can't be in control of every little move I make. 'Cause while you're so busy reaching for the top, no thought about the cost. If you ever turned around, you'll see there's someone else. In life there's gotta be some give and take. You can't be in control of every little move I make. 'Cause while you're so busy reaching for the top, no thought about the cost. If you ever turned around, you'll see there's someone else you've lost. Yeah, it was someone else's loss. Now I'm someone else you've lost. Thank you.
Eso,
so
bravo.
nervous.
Nervous? Don't worry. I also get nervous when I do this every single time. Just like those 5 seconds before going, like, or those actually 10 seconds of the intro bumper. It's just like it's just like a roller coaster, like ching, 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 ching. But then I go into my camera and just like we're off.
Yeah.
We're off, right?
I can relate.
And that's why I also like to do it just like live, right? This is not recorded, it's just live. So whatever happened goes, and I guess people can be a little bit more understanding, right? Because it's live, right?
Definitely.
We're not gonna repeat if something goes like the way it should. And it's just like you'll notice because we're doing this live. It also saves a lot of time on post-production.
I bet.
So welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. Yeah, no, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're very happy to have you. We're very happy you accepted the invitation. And it's very exciting to have. Actually, this is the first time we had someone playing country at the podcast.
Oh, really?
And
Cool.
it's a genre I really enjoy a lot. I actually have a couple of cowboy hats, right? And I like playing country a lot. And well, I'm happy to have you. So this past song you played, right,
Yep.
is from your last EP
Yes.
you released in 2017, right?
2019.
2019, that's right.
Yeah.
Your first EP is 2017, 2019.
Yeah.
I got my facts all wrong. No, yeah.
It's all
So,
good.
so where did did you produce those two EPs in back in New Zealand?
Yes, yeah. A couple of my friends, Phil DeBlay and Arnie Van Bussel, they both co-produced them.
Awesome.
Yeah. Phil plays all the instruments. He's amazing.
It's always good to have someone like that on your
Yeah.
team, right? Those kind of people are handy.
Cheap and efficient.
Although, don't call him cheap.
And yeah, no,
Right?
that sounds
That's-
rude.
Well,
I'm
we
an
get-
accountant's daughter, so I'm always watching the numbers.
Awesome, awesome. And so the first, okay. Sorry, I have Brian checking the stream on the far side of like on the other side, right? He usually helps me with the audio, but today he had some work things to do. But he's kind of like doing the audio through me while watching the stream, right? He's telling me like, hey, bring the guitar a little bit up, bring the effects a little bit up, right? And right now he told me like the stream dropped, and I was like, what? And he's like, never mind, it's back on. Okay. So homie, don't do that to me, okay? Don't scare me like that, please. All right. So, you were saying, and this the both EPs you produced them with the same team?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I did. Initially, I was looking at a couple of other producers and even started working with one, but he was not very good. So then I found Phil, and he haven't looked back since.
All right. Since we haven't said that name of the other producer, we can freely talk about him or her, right? About them. So,
Can do.
so what do you mean by they were not good? Like they were not experienced enough?
They were very unprofessional in the end, and yeah, they sent me what was meant to be the finished track of the first song, and no, it sounded like shit.
All right.
Oh, shoot, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, you're allowed. This is YouTube. We can say shit. We can say fuck. We can say all of that. All of them. It's a free country. I'm not sure it's even the same country as like, and actually, like you're a foreigner, right? I can ask you this: how have you been to any other part in Mexico?
No, just here.
Okay, well, how Mexican do you think this place is actually? Like,
I've heard it's not very. I do want to get around and see other parts of Mexico, but I don't think I would want to live there long term by the sounds of it. I feel like this is probably Mexican enough for me. I still need running water and electricity and
well, there's
Wi-Fi.
a lot of places in Mexico that still has both things, but what I'm saying is that Playa del Carmen it's populated by a lot of expats from all over, right?
yeah.
So and people that are actually living here for long term with legal residences. Some are not legal. Some they're living with a ever longing tourist visa, and that's fine. But it kind of gives the feeling of Playa del Carmen being a more international community, right?
Yeah.
Like we are in Mexico, but we are not strictly all Mexican,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
a very international place. So what brought you here?
I just missed being able to travel, and at the time that I was looking for somewhere to go, there weren't many places that were open to everyone. So, yeah, like minimal restrictions was a bonus, and cheap, so I could just like relax a bit because I've been working like crazy the last couple of years, and yeah, I like being by the beach as well. Like I live by the beach back home, so I still kind of feel like I'm there. In a way, and yeah, escaping winter too. That was a big plus. Although
Right.
I don't think I expected it to be quite this hot here.
That exact same thing happened to me when I moved here. Like, I made the mistake of moving here in the middle of August 10 years ago, and as you may have noticed, it is the hottest time of year,
Yeah.
right? So it really tested my patience. I've never been here before when I decided to just like, yeah, I'm moving with all my stuff. I packed up my car and moved here. And I was like, man, did I take the right choice? I mean, this might be too hot,
Yeah.
right? But it gets better. Like it's about to get better. When did you got here?
I got here at the end of May.
At the end of May.
Yeah.
So you saw it like get worse and worse?
Honestly, it's felt kind of the same.
Really?
I haven't really noticed up or down too much. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, so I promise it gets better. It gets better, especially like since you were here in the hottest months. If you stay here till like January or December, you'll probably even want a hoodie or something to cover yourself. Like,
cool.
like it does move your comfort zone of temperature to a more hotter one, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna be hearing a lot of material from your EPs. Can you introduce the next song that you're playing?
Yeah. So the next one is called Forever Never Yours. I wrote it about a really awkward first date that I went on. I knew the guy vaguely, like we weren't complete strangers, but still about halfway through the date, he was like, I can't believe you're all mine. And I was just like, running the other way. Running the other way. So yeah, that's what inspired the song.
Okay, I actually like, I'm glad you told the story a little bit about that one because I love the title, right? I love the Forever Never Yours.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you ain't got no chance. It's like the forever friend zone, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But and I also like a lot when I do the interviews to like grab little things and make them like as like today we learned this, right? Yeah. Guys, please don't ever do that mistake. Unless you want, like, maybe this guy always wanted a girl to write a song for him, right?
Maybe.
He got it. He
probably
got
not
it.
the song you wanted, but
Probably not the
song.
song you wanted. Okay, but yeah, for sure, guys, chill. Nobody likes to someone that falls over in the first date. You think it might come across as cute, but it really comes across like a psycho. So, guys, chill, right? Otherwise, unless you want to be forever never hers, like forever ever never, no chance, zero chance, goodbye. All right. So let's go on with that. Let's go, and ladies and gentlemen, Barb's, are we ready? Barb's is my assistant today as well. She's helping me out. She's gonna be an artist later in the podcast next year, but today she's part of the team and she's doing a solid. Everybody, a big applause for Barb's, please. Para que se nos ponga más nerviosa. Nada más tiene que apretar 2 botones. Tampoco está tan difícil su chamba. Pero me ayudó mucho en el setup también. No crean que nada más vino a apretar 2 botones. Okay, so without further ado, because now we're ready, please everyone give a very warm applause to Bronwyn as we listen to her song Forever Never Yours live on Sonidos Independientes on 5th Avenue Sounds.
I never really liked first dates or any dates at all. They always made me get so hopeful, never ready for the fall, but somehow you got a first date out of me. But it wasn't not to see just how doomed that this would be, and I can't believe I have to spell it out. Don't jump the gun, yeah, you just lost your chance with your obnoxious overconfidence. You're so full of yourself, just a lost cause, signed forever never yours. I may be pretty new to this, but I don't get it, you can't see. There's no point in planning a year from now. If we haven't even spent a week, we could have been perfect, you and me. But you had to put your foot in it, now we'll never get to see. Still can't believe I have to spell it out. Don't jump the gun, yeah, you just lost your chance with your obnoxious overconfidence. You're so full of yourself, just a lost cause, signed forever never yours. Boy, go ahead, go on and on, but it won't change Boy, go ahead, go on and on and on. Boy, go ahead, go on and on, but it won't change the fact that I'm long gone. Boy, go ahead, go on and on. Don't jump the gun, yeah, you just lost your chance with your obnoxious overconfidence. You're so full of yourself, just a lost cause, signed forever, never yours. Boy, go ahead, go on and on, but it won't change the fact that I'm long gone. Boy, go ahead, go on and on. Thank you.
All right, that was great.
Thanks.
It's pretty cool to listen to the songs like all stripped down like this,
Yeah.
right?
Very
It's a very contrast because I gotta say the quality of the production of your piece is great. Like the
Cool,
sound
thank
is
you.
it's very solid. It's very like kind of like a Memphis sound, right? Like a Memphis country, super pristine, very like a candy coated master, like in the good country productions.
Cool.
I really enjoyed the production, and I was eager to hear the material just like stripped down like this.
Yeah,
And it's,
yeah.
that's when you notice when that a song holds up, right? Like
Definitely.
if you strip it down and it still holds up, it's because it's a good song, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good song just should live just by a melody, right? Like guitar, it can be complementary. When you can just sing it a cappella even,
Yeah.
that's when you know those songs hold up. And yours are going great so far. So thank you so
Thanks.
much. So now that you've been in Playa, like it's been now over 2 years, right, since your last EP that you released
Yeah.
of your own material. You had a release briefly, but we'll talk about it. This is all crooked. No, overdid it. Kinda. It's live, right? It's live. So yeah. You just did a release. We'll talk that about after the next song. But your last EP that you released, what was the name? I like the name because it's don't tell me, I'll remember. It's never too late or something like that, right?
Better late than never.
Better late than never. That's right. So, but it wasn't that long since your first EP and the second EP. It's
There
just
was
a couple.
about 2 years between them, which
Yeah.
felt like long enough.
Felt like two, like always. Oye un poco de efecto. ¿Tenemos efecto, Barbs? En la voz de ella. No, estamos en la interview. Okay, sorry. I needed to do a sound check. Sorry. So, why did you think it felt like so much? 2 years, and now it's been over 2 years, right?
Yep.
I know I said like if you didn't want to go through this, maybe we didn't have to. But
No,
why
it's
don't
all
you
good.
tell us what are those things that make you like that turn sometimes the creative process a hard process? What's the things that you battle with when coming up with new material?
Yeah, I've had writer's block for a while. I don't know. I'm such a perfectionist, and yeah, I don't know. And then I was also working a lot over the last couple of years throughout the pandemic. Some people lost their jobs. I ended up picking up more jobs. I don't know. I just worked crazy hours, and then I was worried that I would lose them. So I was like, I've got to make the most of it. So I literally had no time, and now I'm just like trying to relax, hoping that that'll help inspire me a bit. I've been writing a few more bits of pieces, but no finished songs just yet.
I do think like if I can throw a little bit of advice over there,
Cool.
deadlines.
Yes, I have found that in the past, actually.
Deadlines
Yeah.
work like a great thing, especially like big deadlines, like book a studio or something, you know,
Yeah.
like book an hour or two, just so you force yourself that on the day of your session, you have to come up with something. You have to have something at least almost finished, so you can at least record a demo, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
get closer, and also smaller goals, right? Like don't stress about writing a full album.
Yeah, yeah.
one song at a time. We live in an age of singles, right? Like you don't really need to write the whole album.
Yeah.
Like write a couple of singles or one and start producing and like, right. I mean, I probably don't have to tell you all of this. I've seen you've done a great work with your previous releases and all your marketing. Any advices you want to throw out there to like? We have a lot of artists right now in the audience and in general following the podcast. A lot of artists see us. So, any advice into like those things that you think that those come easy to you? Like what things make you well, let me rewind I was thinking in Spanish and translating. Let me just get back to it. Okay, what parts of the process you think that they're not hard for you? Like what is very easy for you on the process of getting an album out or getting a song out?
I think, oh gosh, as far as writing goes, like I do have some songs that have just magically happened. There's not really any advice around that, though. I think finding a good team, like Phil and Arnie, I can send them a song and it'll be done in, a few days if I really want. Yeah, I don't know. Just having a good plan to release too. I feel like I've kind of been so impatient to get mine out that I just kind of chucked them out and, I should have been doing a bit more build up to the release. Yeah. Yeah,
that's very important. Like that's almost it's almost more than half of the job, right?
Yeah.
Because and it sounds so incredible and so almost lame, right? Because writing a song it's kind of something like, as you said, it's like wanting something magic to happen, right? It's not like an everyday task as brushing your teeth, right? It's not something that it's also not something that you can teach someone to do or that you can easily just learn by a simple step-by-step method, right? But then again, that's not the whole job, and it's not even half of the job. Half of the job is to market it properly, to do all the social media campaign for the pre-release and all of that. And well, I know you just did a release, and I think you did a very good job at taking it out because I heard it. I have a couple of questions from Brian. Originally, our plan, before he had this work thing, our plan is he usually works in Studio B with his microphone and he can speak in the room, right? So he had a lot of questions planned, so he's just sending them to me.
Cool.
So I'm just gonna read them. Well, okay, this is an interesting one because I've never been in New Zealand and I'm not sure about its geography. Are there hurricanes over there?
Very, very rarely, like once in a blue moon and tiny ones generally. Okay.
So yeah, because his question was if you've experienced a hurricane, but I know that in the time you've been here, there's been no hurricanes.
No.
Thank God. Because it hasn't been really hurricane season. Hurricane season really starts in September.
Oh, okay.
Like they say starts in June, but after the hottest part, it's when it starts to get more humid and more wind starts to get faster. So this is like a 3-month window where like you could experience your first hurricane, right? Okay, and then the second one, he is like, and he quotes, so I'm gonna quote Brian. I spent a lot of time on your side of the world. I found the time difference to be hard. It was difficult. Has the time zone caused you any issues?
I don't know about issues, but I do, get confused sometimes trying to, I feel like I almost know what time it is in New Zealand better than I do here because I talk to my family back there so much, or friends. So someone's like, what are you doing today? And I'm like, confusing myself, trying to go back and forth because I still work with a couple of people back there as well. I've got an artist development coach that I've been doing some work with, and yeah, that's exactly what Brian is going for, because like he used to live in like, as he said, like in the other side of the world, and one of the reasons he stopped doing that is because of he had clients in the US and just it was like so hard to work with the time zones. What's the time zone difference with New Zealand? So this podcast started at 11 a.m. but Wednesday. So I think they're like 7 hours behind but a day ahead is how I work it out in my head. But it's very confusing.
I gotta say, time zones have always been very, very confusing because it's like we're talking about the past. Like have they already watched this before it happened?
Yeah. And that was one of the confusing things with the latest release too, because normally I'm releasing in New Zealand, so I like celebrate straight away. But then I was like starting to celebrate, but then no one here could access it. So yeah, it was very confusing.
So you did like a release party before the actual release because it wasn't out yet, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, well, so I hope that answers to your question, homie, because yeah, it's not like the most okay, so what says what? Okay, so he's asking why a girl from New Zealand is doing like country, like Taylor Swift, that's what he wanted to say. Like that kind of like, which is very and also as I said, you have a very like Memphis, Nashville kind of sound, right? Like it's a very American sound. Is there like a huge country scene in New Zealand or what?
Not really, no.
So what ended up making you doing country?
When I first started singing, I was into like Disney pop, like Hilary Duff and all that sort of thing. And then the more like MySpace became a thing, and they'd say like, if you like this artist, then you'll like these ones. And I found more independent artists who had just a hint of country, and then I just sort of leaned into it a bit more. And then thinking about it later on too, my mum's favourite artist was Shania Twain. We'd always listen to her album when we'd go on road trips. And Dad's was John Denver, so it was kind of inevitable I would come to country eventually.
It was in your blood.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go, Brian. And it was a very good question. I like if you want to keep shooting questions at me, it's great because you know I suck at doing interviews. All right. So we've been talking long enough. So why don't you introduce us your next song?
Cool. So the next one's called Just a Little Chipped. Okay. Did you want a wee backstory or just play the song? Yeah.
Let's hear a little bit of backstory.
So I got the title idea from Beauty and the Beast. The remake had just come out at the time. The character Chip. So that was where I got chipped from. And yeah, it's just going through a rough period. So the song just kind of fitted that. And yeah. All right. Just a little chipped.
Okay, so for people who may feel a little chipped but not broken, okay, this song is for you. And everybody, please give a warm applause to Bronwyn as she plays for us live from Sonidos Independientes, Just a Little Chip.
Break down 100 and something. It's happened so many times that even I've lost track. What's my excuse for it this time? These days it doesn't take a lot for me to crack. And I see the vultures circling around, waiting for me to hit the ground. Well, I'm tired and I'm blue, but I'll keep fighting. Yeah, I'm not through. Sometimes it's hard to move on. Feels like all my hope is gone, but I can't always adjust the script. 'Cause I'm not broken, I'm just a little chipped. Sometimes I'm too hard on myself. All my dreams and expectations reaching high. But sometimes it's a force from their kick, making it clear that they don't want me to fly. And I see the vultures circling around,
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Very nice, very nice. I liked it. I like it. Nice ballad. Nice ballad. It's a heartfelt song for sure. For sure.
Definitely.
So now let's finally talk about the release you just did like a couple of weeks ago, I think, right? Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, you just released something. Tell us,
Yes.
what did you release?
I just released a cover of Girl Crush by Little Big Town.
Okay.
Yeah, I just felt like I should be putting something out since I don't have originals ready yet. So yeah, I really love that song, and we changed it up a little bit. We got rid of the guitar. Well, there is a bit of guitar in there still, but the Little Big Town version that's got, is it arpeggio? Is that the right term?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like really obvious that that's what the song is. We got rid of that. We played it on the keys mostly.
Nice.
Bit of percussion. Yeah, nice and stripped back.
I must be honest. I've not heard the original.
Cool.
I gotta say, yeah. Well, there's a lot of songs in this world I haven't. There's more songs in this world I haven't heard than songs that I've actually heard, and that's true for everybody, right? What was so important or this song, or why did you want to redo this song, or what did it mean to you?
I was just trying to think of some songs that I listen to that feel like something I would say or, have wanted to write over the last couple of years but haven't been able to. Or, and this was one of the ones. I was going to do this song for an audition, but then they ended up changing the criteria and I was able to do an original instead. But that was when I first started performing Girl Crush and working on it, and I was like, I should release this. I feel like it sits nicely on my voice, and yeah.
I think the cover sounds great. As I said, I've not heard the original, so I don't have like that reference, which is a great reference. It's a great thing to always compare a cover with the original, but it's also I love that experience as well. There's been a lot of songs that I've first heard the cover, right, and then you know, like, oh, is that a cover? Is that an original? I knew it was a cover because you really market it that way, right? Like, this is a cover, which I think that's how you should be doing it, not like what Led Zeppelin did with the first album. Great album, but it's pirate. They're just pirating songs. That's not cool. But so when you got here, we talked about this. There's a lot of this idea in singers, songwriters, and composers, right? That like they feel like they're being either cheating or they're taking the easy road or just like betraying their own music by doing or releasing covers, right?
Yeah.
And you told me you kind of felt like that at first, right?
I used to. I think just because I have had writer's block for so long and I don't want to be doing nothing. And even when I have written those other EPs, songwriting still stresses me out. Unless it just happens to fall out perfectly, it's always going to be stressful trying to finish it and possibly rewrite it and all that sort of stuff. So if I find songs that I like, they don't even need to be released. If, I meet a songwriter, I'd be totally open to singing their songs now.
Okay, great. So so what made you change the idea? Just the fact that you needed more releases, or? Yeah,
like a bit of both. The fact that I felt like I needed some releases, and the fact that singing's the main thing I enjoy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why stop singing just because I don't have my own stuff to sing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's and that's also very interesting because a lot of times artists seem to be doing stuff for their audience, right? And that's how it's perceived it should be, maybe, right? Because it's a business and all that. But what we also have to take into consideration, people that don't do music, is that us people that do music, we mostly do it because it's awesome to do music, right? We enjoy the sensation we get out of it, right?
Yeah,
not necessarily out of the finished product, but more the process as well, right? And as I said, I think that the finished product is great, but do you have plans for releasing more covers in the future?
Yeah, there's been a few other covers that I've been considering releasing. They're not very well known, not that matters. So yeah, I'm considering releasing them. There is one song that I finished still a couple of years ago now. It's been a long writer's block. So I'm considering possibly releasing that one, but I feel like if I do, then I'd want some more originals to follow it up with. So maybe just hold on to it for now.
Okay, maybe you can do a little bit of both, right? Like
Maybe, yeah.
And I've also known a lot of musicians that while being on writer's block start like releasing covers, and that just like opens the lead for creativity to flow, and then the originals start to come.
Yeah,
and maybe they end up they book the session to record a cover, and they end up recording an original, right? Because it just came in that moment.
Yeah.
But and I think it's great. I think for every artist that's out there struggling with releasing material of their own, there's nothing bad in releasing a cover, so long as you credit it properly and get your licenses and all that legal stuff that you gotta do, because it's someone else's property that you're using. But it's also a great tool to increase your audience, right? Because like if there are songs that were influential to you and to the style of music that you make, people will relate to that. And if it's a song that has nothing to do with what you play and you make it on your own style, that is also very interesting for people as well, because it's like, oh, I like her style. I like the song, but I like her in the style. So they can get attracted to your own original music, right? So we have more questions. Well, it's kind of like a three-piece question that Brian sent, but it makes me think about a previous question first. In your time spent in Mexico, have you worked with any Mexican musicians?
No. I met Sergio, friend of yours too. He helped me get a gig here at La Vagabonda.
Yep.
So I played there for a couple of months. And we've talked about collabing, but no, haven't quite done anything yet.
Right. Well, Brian was asking more like the language barrier, right? Because it's something that he can relate to, because he's worked with a lot of not only Mexican musicians, a lot of Argentinian musicians here and from different parts of Latin America. And sometimes for him it's easier to just express ideas more like in the language of music to them than just in Spanish or English, right? It's just like, instead of doing do a fill or haz un redoble, it's just like do psh, right?
Yeah.
It's a more like an international language. But have you worked with musicians from a different background who are not from like New Zealand?
Like different genres? Oh,
no, different countries, different nationalities? Not
really, no. I went to America a couple of times, so I got to play with a couple of friends there. Other than that, no.
Well, I guess if you're playing country, you gotta go to America and try it out over there, right? It's where it's from. I had another question. I just lost it. Right. How are you working on this new material? Are you working remotely with your team back in New Zealand?
Yeah, I brought my Wii interface and studio mic, so I recorded the vocals for Girl Crush in my apartment, and then I just sent them to them, and they put the rest of the track together. That is awesome. I love that we live in the future right now. It's like for people for people who don't know, like, you can go to there's platforms, like she has a team in New Zealand, but if you don't, there's people from all over the world who just can, like, you can hire them to do freelance production arrangement, or like there's studio musicians who will record the drums for your song in a studio in Barcelona, and you can get a horn player in London, and you can create a whole album in different parts of the world while not getting into one single plane, right? It's just I love that. It's pretty cool and amazing. So, well, we're almost running out of time, so let's just, I'm just going to go through the goodbyes, and then we introduce the last song. Cool. All right. So, everyone, thank you for watching or listening, because this is also will be on Spotify, so probably you're not watching us while you're listening to us. But if you are, it's been a pleasure. I can tell you that by flipping my cowboy hat. I'm just going to tell, I have to tell the short story of my heart, of my hat, that I went the longest way you can go
to buy a Mexican hat because I bought this in the Calgary Stampede of 2019, all the way in Alberta, Canada, because I wanted a cowboy hat over there. And check it out, it is made in Mexico. I said made in Mexico, right? My Canadian Mexican hat. Well, it's my statement that I love country, I love cowboy music. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in, Sonidos Independientes from anywhere in the world you are. Muchas gracias a todas y todas los que nos sintonizaron en la emisión Vigesimoséptima de Sonidos Independientes, desde donde quiera que nos estén escuchando o viendo, ya sea en Spotify o en YouTube, donde transmitimos en vivo cada 2 semanas desde el canal de Fifth Avenue Sounds. Entonces, bueno, esténse pendientes porque viene el episodio de aniversario en 2 semanas. Chan, 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 les anuncio de una vez, vamos a tener a Aguamala, un fuerte aplauso, por favor. Vamos a tener a Aguamala, la excelente banda de jazz caribeño, la emblemática banda de jazz caribeño, aquí tocando para nosotros en el episodio de aniversario. No sé si además de eso vamos a hacer algo un poquito más especial o no, no he planeado nada, porque yo no planeo cosas. Pero bueno. Así que bueno, no se lo pierdan, va a estar buenísimo. Everybody, check out our next episode in a couple of weeks. It's going to be our anniversary. So we're having a very cool and emblematic Caribbean jazz band from here, from Playa del Carmen. They're called Aguamala, and I'm very excited to have them here. They play an awesome kind of Caribbean jazz. So check them out. That's it for me. My name is Juan Calavera, right? You can find me on Instagram as one Calavera, right? You can find me on Spotify as Calavera. Like, is it like right? It's it right here. If you're curious about the music I make, but you can find me. You're not gonna find me anywhere else other than my music or my Instagram. I don't use Facebook. I don't use TikTok. I don't use Twitter. I don't care about those, so you won't find me anywhere. All right? Just on Instagram. Check me out. As well, I always want to thank my team, and I'm going to do it in Spanish. Muchas gracias al equipo de Sonidos Independientes. Tenemos en la logística y en la cámara a Yumiko Takahashi. Un aplauso, por favor. Ella nos ayuda a hacer muchas cosas de estas posibles. En el audio, siempre apoyándonos, aunque sea de manera remota, tenemos al mismísimo Brian Kelly, el Brian. Okay, muchas gracias, amigo, for having my back, as always. Y bueno, la conducción corrió por parte de su servilleta, Juan Calavera. Bueno, y hoy también un aplauso fuerte, por favor, a Barbs, que nos estuvo en la asistencia técnica de todo hizo Barbs el día de hoy. Aprendió también un montón, espero que de algo le haya servido venir a cotorrear, pero por lo menos se la pasó bien, eso te lo aseguro. ¿Sí o no? Claro. Eso, Barbs. Muy bien. Bueno, pues vámonos con este cuarto tema. What are we gonna close with? What's the last song we're gonna hear?
Cool. So this last one's called Wish Me Luck. It's kind of my... Thank you. It's kind of my theme.
Don't jump the gun. Did you not hear the first song?
It's kind of my theme song. I wrote it, must be almost 6 years ago now.
Wow.
I was wanting to go on tour around New Zealand, but the date that I had in mind was approaching and I was getting overwhelmed with all the stuff I had to organize for it, all the venues and accommodation and everything. And so I just sat down one night and I just wrote this song, and then I just got up and booked everything and quit my job, and yeah, I was like couch surfing, living out of my car for about 3 months. And yeah, so the songs also come with me on a couple of trips to America. One of them was a competition. There was a whole team of us, so we filmed a music video for it at Long Beach, I think it was, LA. So that's on YouTube if anyone wants to check it out. And I went to Nashville on my own, did a festival in Australia, and kind of just the song always supports me on the trips. And then now, of course, here. So yeah.
It's your lucky song.
It really is.
Awesome. Well, so I think there's a huge learning right there as well. Like, there's a huge thing to just grab and take it with you, independent artists over there. There's nothing like, you're gonna have to do it. You know, if you want to go out on tour, you eventually have to just be like, you know what? Wish me luck, and here I go. And I mean, there's a lot of ways you can plan it. You can spend months planning, but eventually, you have to do it, right? So planning is good, well, but doing is what artists need to do, all right? Like it's you can only plan so much, and you always have to just like, you know what?
Take the leap.
Take the leap. Wish me luck because I'm taking the leap. So it's been great to have you.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's been great.
It's been a pleasure. And so everybody, just give this another warm applause for Bronwyn. She plays for us live from Sonidos Independientes from Fifth Avenue Sounds. Wish me luck. So wish us luck because after that we're going. So there we go.
Oh, actually, should I say too? If people want to find me, my website is simplybronwyn.com. On most social medias at simplybronwyn, one word. Hopefully you can find me. And Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, all those things.
Yeah, we're actually going to have those in the description of the podcast as well, the link to her website and her social media, so you can check her out. Remember, if you like this, go check her out. Remember to subscribe to our channel. Remember to subscribe to her channels. It helps a lot, right? So show your support and give another applause, and let's go for Wish Me Luck.
Am I crazy, stupid, maybe, or somewhere in between? Didn't take me long to jump, could be a while till I find my feet. No amount of warning lights could have stopped me in my tracks. Man, I know a lot, but I know there's no way I'm going back. I've got my lucky pennies, I'm headed for the nearest, wishing well. Either way, you know it'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. I don't know what I'm doing, but who really knows what they're doing? I'm all in, I'm all in. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. Am I crazy, naive, maybe? Well, it's too soon to know. Guess that all we can do is sit back and see how far this goes. No backup plan, just my guitar in hand and a big long stretch of country roads. Oh, I'm not ready, but here goes. I've got my lucky pennies, I'm headed for the nearest, wishing well. Either way, you know it'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. I don't know what I'm doing, but who really knows what they're doing? I'm all in, I'm all in. Wish me luck. Deep down I know that I won't need it in the end. I'll work till it falls into place. But since it doesn't cost an awful lot to make, maybe a few good wishes wouldn't go astray. I've got my lucky pennies, I'm headed for the nearest, wishing well. Either way, you know it'll be fine, it'll be fine, yeah, I'll be fine. I don't know what I'm doing, but who really knows what they're doing? I'm all in, I'm all in. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. I'm all in, I'm all in. Wish me luck. Thank you.